Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Monday, December 10th, 2012, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. We have television archives up top. We have JC's eye candy below. We'll get to that in just a minute. And over in the corner, the results of our rock and roll poll question from the weekend. What's your take on the Bob Costas controversy? Now, there's a lot of people that are not even really sure it's a controversy. Bob Costas has been a great ambassador for Major League Baseball, the city of St. Louis, NFL. Guy's got something like 21 Emmy Awards and is considered really the dean of sportscasting in this country. And you'd think people here in St. Louis would be more proud of him. But if you look at the conservative websites, some of the radio stations and message boards and the broadcast industry, they are just raking Bob over the coals. It's unbelievable. Like somehow they're trying to make this his defining moment or something. Well, I'm happy to say that 51% of you said maybe it was a bit out of place, but it wasn't that big a deal, followed by 35% with, I agree with them all the way. Well, let me just tell you something. You made me feel better. 5% believe that he should face some sort of suspension and formal reprimand. 4%, I go to the bathroom at halftime, I didn't see it. And only 3% say you should be fired. He was completely out of line. There you go, because at any given moment, about 3% of the total population in this country, which means also in your neighborhood, is just stark raving mad. All right, Golden Globe nominations are coming up later on this week, and we're getting into the whole awards season. St. Louis Film Critics Association had our big voting meeting over the weekend. I'll get to that in a minute. How many movies would you think you've seen so far this year? When it's all said and done, 2012 is over. Approximately how many movies will you have seen in 2012? A, fewer than 10, B, between 10 and 30, C, between 30 and 50, or D, more than 50. In 99 and 2000, I saw roughly 130 movies in both of those years. And on Thursday, when we reconvene, and we do update the Daily Dose here on Mondays and Thursdays, I'll tell you a little thing that has to go, it's a statistic that reveals a lot about America's movie-going public and maybe also explains a little bit why you are seeing the movies you are seeing. So we'll get to all that here in just a couple of seconds. Now, St. Louis Film Critics Association, as we said, we did our voting meeting, and here are our nominees. Well, Best Documentary, I want to start with that because I am such a fan of this movie. It's a documentary called Searching for Sugar Man. And it's just a great story. I've talked about it before. You can look it up online, Searching for Sugar Man. It's going to be coming out on home video in a couple of weeks, and I'm so excited for people to finally get a chance to see this thing, because it only ran for a couple of weeks in a couple of the movie houses like Frontenac and the Tivoli and places like that. Best Supporting Actress, Amy Adams for The Master, Ann Dowd for Compliance, Sally Field for Lincoln, Anne Hathaway, Les Miserables, Helen Hunt in The Sessions, and Emma Watson in The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Don't feel bad if you didn't see a lot of those movies. A lot of people did not. Best Supporting Actor, Alan Arkin for Argo, John Goodman for Argo. They should have almost been nominated as a unit because they were so good together. Tommy Lee Jones for Lincoln, William H. Macy, The Sessions, Christoph Waltz for Django Unchained, and Bruce Willis for Moonrise Kingdom. Again, quite a few movies there that people have not seen. Best Actress, Jessica Chastain, Zero Dark 30. This is the movie that I have said is the best movie of 2012. Unfortunately, it will not open in St. Louis until January 11th. It doesn't matter. I still think it's going to be the best movie, best picture at the Oscars. And Jessica Chastain, female lead in this movie, and she is sensational. Jennifer Lawrence, The Silver Linings Playbook. I wouldn't be crushed if she won. I am telling you, she is fantastic in The Silver Linings Playbook. Helen Mirren for Hitchcock, probably about the only decent thing in Hitchcock. Aubrey Plaza for Safety Not Guaranteed, and this gal from Beasts of the Southern Wild. I can't pronounce her name. Doesn't matter anyhow. Best Actor, Bradley Cooper, Silver Linings Playbook. Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln. Jamie Foxx, Django Unchained. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie, by the way. John Hawkes for The Sessions, Joaquin Phoenix for The Master, and Denzel Washington in Flight, which I find absolutely hilarious. I hated Flight so much I can't even begin to tell you. But all of this is for naught, because if there has ever been a runaway for Best Actor in a Motion Picture at the upcoming Oscars, if there has ever been a runaway, I can't imagine there being a bigger one than there is this year for Daniel Day-Lewis and Lincoln. He is a runaway win. Put your money on that. All right, Best Director, Ben Affleck for Argo, Wes Anderson, Moonrise Kingdom, Catherine Bigelow for Zero Dark 30, which I believe, as I said, best movie of the year, Quentin Tarantino, Django Unchained, which opens in a couple of weeks, Guy from Beasts of the Southern Wild, I can't pronounce that name either. And Ang Lee for The Life of Pi, which is probably my third favorite movie of the year. Best film: Argo, Django Unchained, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Moonrise Kingdom, and Zero Dark 30. I will tell you, I believe that Zero Dark 30 will win Best Director and also win Best Picture. But that Best Director thing, I could waffle a little bit on that. That's a whole sort of another story there. And by the way, you didn't hear a lot of Les Mis. I watched Les Mis over the weekend. I watched Les Mis, The Sessions, and The Impossible, which is also another good movie. It's about the tsunami in Thailand a couple of years ago, and I was ready to slash my wrists after watching those three in a row. All right, let's get to this, because I know you're all wondering what I think about these Australian DJs, and my take is actually very, very simple. This whole thing falls under the heading of it's fun until somebody loses an eye. A lot of TV shows, like Inside Edition and everything like that, when this prank phone call was made to the hospital, they tagged it as one of the greatest phone pranks of all time, and they put it in a whole line with some of what they characterized as the best phone pranks of all time. And of course now somebody dies, and now it's tisk tisk, long faces, and boy did they change their freaking attitude. Somehow, like I said, it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye. Nobody was hurt by the prank, and it wasn't mean-spirited, and it sort of irks me when people become so pious after the fact on something like this. Why the nurse went over the edge on something fairly innocuous by today's standards, I will never know, and frankly, I don't mean to be cruel, but I'm not really sure that I would want somebody so emotionally frail looking over royalty in what's supposed to be the best hospital in all of England. I sort of, you scratch your head and go, really? Really? 60 Minutes, or a local TV station, ran an investigative piece, and then the subject took his own life. Somehow, I'm sure it would be viewed as different. But, the radio industry here in America, not any different from Australia. It doesn't have any advocate. There's nobody to defend a couple of boneheads playing with the phone who end up waist-high in doo-doo. As far as I'm concerned, the guy in Phoenix who called Daryl Kyle's widow, tried to pick her up not that long after Daryl Kyle's untimely death, is far more creepy, and of course I don't think we ever heard from him again, by the way, so maybe these things do sort of shake out. Again, I'm not defending these DJs, I'm just trying to illustrate the double standard and the hypocrisy, and of course the broadcast managers, they love the ratings and the revenue that they get when their on-air talent figure out some way to separate themselves from the pack by being different or unusual or taking chances. And they love the money that comes into the radio station with high ratings. And then when something goes wrong, those same broadcast managers are like, I didn't tell them to do it. And somehow, they try to distance themselves from the talent. People are wondering if there's, it's illegal in the United States of America to call somebody on the radio and put them on the air without first getting the okay from them. I don't know if there's any international law involved here, but all I know is if there was no international law broken when Paul Hogan released Crocodile Dundee II, well, then I'm pretty sure that those radio guys are sort of on the safe side. I got a whole bunch of other stuff here, but we're going to have time for it today because we have so many other good things to talk about. So let's just jump ahead to JC's Eye Candy. And all I can say is when given the opportunity, women have shown they can be idiots just as good as men. If you need proof, check out JC's Eye Candy. It's right below what you're looking at right now. It's a pretty interesting assemblage of video of women doing stupid shit, and so I hope you enjoy it. All right, so back to JC's Rock and Roll poll. Again, how many movies do you think you will have seen in a theater? In 2012. Please answer down in the corner. Results on Thursday. We update here on the Daily Dose Mondays and Thursdays, and we're on Facebook all the time at The Showgram with J.C. Corcoran, The Showgram with J.C. Corcoran. Hope everybody's having a nice holiday. Talk to you again on Thursday. Mick and Keith are going to do the top 10 list on Letterman on Tuesday night. If you're seeing this before then, please check that out. If you're seeing this after then, I can't really help you. In the meantime, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, December 10th, 2012. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.